Get this, for the first time in nearly half a century, a major new oil refinery is actually breaking ground in the United States. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar project, and it's designed to solve a really critical problem in America's whole energy system. Let's dive right in. So, where are we getting all this info? Well, for today's explainer, we're digging into a super detailed report by Shasta Unfiltered. They really laid out the entire story, piece by piece.
Okay, to really get a handle on just how big a deal this is, let's start with a question. Just think about it for a second. When do you think the last time a brand new major oil refinery was built on U.S. soil?
1977. No joke, the Garyville Refinery down in Louisiana opened up the very same year the first Star Wars movie hit theaters. It's been almost 50 years. And that huge time gap, well, that's exactly why this new project is turning so many heads. So what exactly is this thing? It's the America First Refinery, or AFR, a $3 billion-plus facility that's going up at the Port of Brownsville, Texas. But here's the key. It's not just new, it's specifically designed to fix a problem that's been brewing for decades. And that gets us to the heart of the puzzle. You know, the U.S. has had this massive shale oil boom for years now. So, why has it taken this long to build a refinery that's actually designed for it? And what problem is it really supposed to solve? Okay, the crucial point, which the source calls the great mismatch, is this. America is now pumping out these enormous amounts of light, sweet shale oil, right? Especially from places like the Permian Basin. But, and this is a huge but, most of our existing refineries were built ages ago for a totally different kind of oil, heavy, sour crude that we had to import. And this is what's so interesting, how this slide just lays that mismatch right out. On the left, you've got our legacy refineries. They're built for that heavy, 30 API gravity crude. But on the right, you see the new refinery. It is purpose-built for our light, sweet U.S. shale, which is way up there at 47 API. That means it's totally optimized to get the most valuable stuff out of our own domestic oil. So, if the need was clearly there, what finally changed to make this project possible? Well, according to the article, the real catalyst was a major policy shift coming out of Washington. Just look at this timeline. It shows how incredibly fast everything started moving. The source points to a National Energy Emergency Declaration in January 2025 that basically ordered federal agencies to fast-track energy projects. This put a cap on environmental reviews at just 28 days for priority projects like this one. That allowed for a groundbreaking by the second quarter of 2026, a speed that, honestly, was just unthinkable before. Now, the article directly links this new policy environment to the project's progress, and it uses this very statement from President Donald Trump, who positioned this refinery as a key win for his administration's agenda. Okay, let's get into the numbers, because the report lays out some absolutely staggering economic figures. First up, capacity. This plant is designed to process 168,000 barrels of crude oil every single day. That's about 60 million barrels of light Permian crude every year. And the economic impact? We're talking massive. The article highlights an estimated $300 billion positive swing for the U.S. trade balance over the project's life, all by turning our own domestic crude into high-value fuels right here at home. And what about the jobs? Well, the refinery is expected to create 500 direct, permanent positions. And these are good, high-paying jobs, averaging between $80,000 and $100,000 a year. That's not even counting the thousands of construction and supply chain jobs it'll support. But you know, this project's importance goes way beyond just one single facility. According to the source, this is about fundamentally rebalancing the entire American energy system. This is like a textbook case of optimization. The new Brownsville plant takes all that light shale oil that it was built for, and that, in turn, frees up the older Gulf Coast refineries to do what they do best, process the heavy crude they were originally designed for. It's the right oil going to the right refinery, and the whole system just runs more efficiently. Simple as that. So when you start putting all these different pieces together, the article frames this refinery as something much bigger than just an industrial project. It's really positioned as a symbol. I think the main takeaway from this source is this. For years, the U.S. was stuck in this bizarre loop of exporting its own light crude oil while at the same time importing heavy foreign oil. This project completely flips that script. It's all about keeping American energy at home, creating American jobs, and really strengthening our national energy independence. And that leaves us with one final and pretty fascinating question. As the very first of its kind in a generation, could this one refinery down in Texas be more than just an outlier? Could it actually be a blueprint for a whole new era of American industrial and energy policy?